Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm excited for this video because you'll finally get to see the reorganization of my bookshelves and like my library area. I've been saving to move out of my childhood home for a while, and the goal is to move out with my boyfriend in the next year or so. So until then, I'm going to try and make this space as much of my own as I can and just really make the most of it. I was hesitant to make changes, like big changes, just because I wasn't sure how long I was going to be in this space. But the more I thought about it, the more I was like, why not take advantage of it and just make it how I want. One of the main reasons for switching up my bookshelf setup is because my boyfriend's mom actually gave me a TV, and I've never had a TV in my room before, so I obviously wanted to take advantage of that and hang it up, but the big bookshelf I had didn't allow like space for that, so I ended up just switching that out with this cube shelf here. So now I'm going to hang the TV up top right there. And I just feel like this is a good change. I was kind of in the mood for a change and just wanted to like rearrange my shelves anyways, but I was kind of getting bored of my old shelf, especially because it was really bad quality. Like, it wasn't the best bookshelf ever, so anytime I moved it, it would just fall apart more and more. So I'm very happy with how it's set up now. So without further ado, let's begin the organizing process, and then we will come back at the end for a full bookshelf tour. First task is to take all the books off my shelves, place them in this laundry basket for easy transport around my room, because I might put some on my bed, but most of them will go in there just so I can like scoot them out of the way, because I'm probably not going to finish this tonight. I'm going to take all the books off my shelves, and then we're going to remove this big shelf because this shelf will be going in its place. Let's just get started. I actually don't think I'm mentally prepared enough for how much work this is gonna be. Last time having these shelves, miss it. Okay. Let's see if this bad boy will move easily. Let's move here. So we've moved big boy out of the way. I am going to miss it, I think. I think, but like there are many things wrong with this shelf, and just for the long term, I would rather have made the switch to something like this now. Of course, someone's walking upstairs. I would have rather made the switch to something like this now than like right when I'm trying to move and there's a million other things to worry about. I don't want to have to worry about like finding new shelves then and toting all these books to a new place without anywhere to put them, so I'm glad to have something else already taken care of. I am gonna miss this though, because my cousin and I built this together, so it was a fun bonding moment for us. But there's just a lot of things wrong with it. Like, it is very cheap, and we did screw some of the things wrong, so it wasn't really noticeable when I had the shelves on them, but like it's just not the prettiest, and then it is wobbly and off balance, and yeah. I'll miss you, but you will probably still remain in this house, so I'll still see you, just not for the same purposes. But anyways, I can't really decide if I want to have this small 3-cube shelf next to it. That's for laundry. I can't decide if I want to have this 3-cube shelf here or here, like on top something like that. I don't really know. I'm kind of leaning towards on the ground next to it though, because I can put my little Christmas tree on top of it, and then I can put like the TV in this space here, because this tiny little sliver of space just looks weird, and I'd rather have more space to set something on than like this little corner that my cat can knock something off of. So I think I'm going to go with right here. Wow, those knees cracks are horrible. So I think my next step is going to be wiping down my current shelves, and we're gonna worry about this bad boy in a second. I'm just gonna kind of scoot him out of the way. Okay, I have dusted and wiped these shelves down, especially the new ones since I got it off Facebook Marketplace, so I want to make sure it was nice and clean. And I don't really have a plan for how I'm going to organize these books. I definitely won't be able to get it all done tonight. So I think I'm just gonna start doing a couple shelves, and honestly, I'm not gonna focus on making it perfect right now. I think I would just like to have a general layout of where I want things to go. It doesn't need to look perfect. We don't need to have everything displayed right now, but I want to get these books on the shelf, not just like in a specific order or anything. However, I do have a couple ideas. I think I'm going to put all my like special editions and like favorite books and like really long series like Sarah J Maas books on this shelf. That way they are kind of like more on display, like more presented, since this one is like the biggest one. And then this is my frog shelf, so this one won't be changing. I think I'm just going to like squish it down a little bit, that way I can make this one a bit bigger for a bigger series, because I don't really need that much room on this shelf, like it's just to display my frog things. So and then as for these cube shelves, I don't really know. I don't really have a plan. And then like I said, I think I'm gonna have my little Christmas tree go on top of this, that way it's like, you know, front and center in the middle of everything. And then once I get all the books settled, I'm going to lay back on my bed. Right now I can't because all the books are on my bed, but I want to see if I'll be able to see the TV if it were on a stand here. That will determine whether I mount it up on the wall or if I just get a stand for it and keep it here. So we will experiment, but let's just get started putting books back on here. It's the next day and I still am not very happy with how these shelves turn out. Like, I got every single book on the shelf. Most of them I think I'll probably keep because I'm kind of happy with the layout. To be honest, I was kind of just putting books on the shelves. Like, I wasn't really thinking about where I was putting them because I didn't have a plan. So I'm gonna revise and revamp things a little bit. For example, this is my romance shelf. Happy with it. Pretty much every romance book I own fits on it, but it is like filled to the brim. And then over here, I don't know if you can see, but I have my Holly Black books. I also put my Leigh Bardugo books on that shelf, and I kind of like having all those authors together. I don't know what I'll do if I get any more books by those authors, but for now, I think it works. I was just trying to keep overall like authors in their series together just because that is what made the most sense in my head. But I do have a lot of like standalones or like first books in fantasy series, and I kind of just had to find a spot for them. I don't really know what I'm gonna do because, to be quite honest, I barely had enough room for everything. Like, I was squeezing books into these shelves. If you can't see, I was stacking books, and like, I think it works. It's fine, but if I get any more books, they will not have a spot. So it is a downgrade on like space at least, but for my needs, it works. But the other issue I ran into is that I have this whole laundry basket full of like trinkets and decor and like cutesy little shelf accessories that I have plenty of room for on the big shelf. I don't know about these shelves. I might have to figure something out, especially with my Harry Potter books, because the Harry Potter books had like an entire full shelf on my old one, and now like there's not gonna be enough room for every little like knickknack I have, so I might have to adjust some things. We'll just have to see. Okay, I've done some switcheroos. I've put almost all of my trinkets on. I think most of them actually. There are a couple that will no longer be on my shelves just because I do not have the room, but I will probably have room somewhere else. Like, for example, I displayed this little painting I did with my cousin on like a little holder thing, but I just don't have room for it anymore, so I'm just gonna hang it on my wall. I have a little gallery painting section over there, so it will join that. And then unfortunately I am gonna have to like get rid of a couple things, which is not bad, but it makes me sad a little bit. But it's just like this Harry Potter spell book. I just don't really have room for it, and nor did I ever like look at it. I think it's really cool, just because it tells you about all the spells in Harry Potter, and I think that's really interesting. I just never really looked through it, so I feel like it will have a better home maybe in like a younger reader experiencing Harry Potter for the first time. And then there are some things that I'm just gonna have to put somewhere else, like my Hermione wand, and then this little vintage book that my friend got me. It's just gonna have to find a different spot. And then I still do not have room for my Narnia series. It just doesn't really fit anywhere. I don't know what I'm gonna do. We might have to play around with that a bit, but Narnia still needs a home. We will find a home for it, but... And then I do have like a very brief unhaul. I'm just gonna be getting rid of the Graveyard Book by Neil Gaiman, only because my mom has a copy and I got this one in a little free library, so if I really want to read this, I'll just read hers. I don't need to have my own paperback copy, so I will be taking this to a little free library as well. I've kind of compiled up a bunch of books, so I'm ready to go donate some here soon. But yeah, for the most part, I'm happy with it. I was planning to like keep all the books like pushed up to the front. That way they're perfectly on display, but I just have so many little knickknacks that I love and I want to keep on display that I pushed them back a little bit. Mainly like the middle and top shelves. I didn't do the bottom shelves just because I don't trust my cat. She will probably still get into things, but it's less of a risk on the bottom shelves, I feel like, for her to like kick something accidentally and it goes everywhere and I lose it. And I did end up switching my Harry Potter shelf. So this is now my like favorite books, favorite authors shelf. So I have my Fairy Loot editions, I have my Taylor Jenkins Reid and my Madeline Miller books, and then my Dark Vanessa, which is so good. And yeah, I didn't really move too many other books around just because a lot of them are like squished in there because I don't have space anymore. But like I'm okay with it. I know where everything is. Everything I feel like has a reason for being where it is, or at least some cohesiveness. It doesn't really matter if like every single author has their book together or like everything is super duper intentional. Generally, I feel like everything has a spot, like a designated spot. So I feel like I might end up changing things in the future, but I'm happy with it for now. So with all of that being done, I really like this setup I've got going on. I feel like for future videos, it's gonna be really, really nice. I'm so excited. And then I also have a lot of space on this wall here. Maybe I can extend some like little gallery wall things. And obviously I do not have the TV up yet. That is just gonna take way too long. And the focus of this video is on the bookshelves. That's the main event, the most important part. So just imagine like a TV right here. So without further ado, I'm going to take you on like a brief tour. It's definitely not going to be super in-depth. Like I won't be taking out books. I'll probably be going over a couple of things, but it's not going to be like super duper detailed, but I still want to give you an overview of what it looks like now. I'm going to start right here. This is on top of the cube shelves. I have my little like TBR shelf here. These are kind of just books that I want to read soon, or like library holds, like the graphic novels or whatever. These are just books that like are on my immediate TBR, my immediate radar. My cousin got me this little wooden holder thing and I really love it, and I feel like it's a good way to display the books that I'm like currently excited about. And then here we have a couple of my Christmas decorations and then my like light up rose, and then this is my TBR prompt jar. So I feel like that's good for now. I didn't want to make this like too cluttered just because I know I'll have the TV here and I just didn't want to put too much on here, but I will plan to put my little Christmas tree here probably. If not, then there's an outlet right there. So we're starting at the top. This is kind of a random shelf, but we've got like my manga and some decorations and two random fantasy books. Honestly, I put these here because it was the only spot I had for them. Alright, and so now we have my Harry Potter shelf. It is more like compact than it used to be on my old shelf, so it looks a bit more like cluttered, more maximalist, but I don't really mind. I'm happy with how it's set up, and I put like the chocolate frog cards on the wall. And, you know, I've got everything organized, so it'll probably stay like that. Okay, and then now we have the frog shelf. This did not change much, and there's really not much to see on the shelf besides frogs, because it is a frog shelf, so all my collections are here. Alright, now we have like the bulk of my Sarah J Maas shelf. So we have my Throne of Glass and ACOTAR books, and I just put A Court of Silver Flames up top. And then we have my little mini bookshelf here. With some other knickknacks, my little dragon. So I'm happy with this. It is compact, so whenever the next ACOTAR books comes out, we'll have to fix this up, but it's fine. And so now we have my Laini Taylor shelf. Again, it's more compact, and like I can't put my like Owl Crate editions on display or anything, but I just wanted all her books together, and you know, the picture of us together when I randomly met her at the airport. So yeah, I'm happy with this one as well. I just think in the future when I collect more of her books, we'll definitely have to figure out something for expansion. But right now we have my Holly Black and Lee Bardugo books. These are like Like, these are not gonna move. They are crammed in here. Yeah, that's all I gotta say about this one. Pretty straightforward. And then this bottom shelf here is kind of randomly assorted. We have the Stalking Jack the Ripper series, the Good Girl's Guide to Murder series, and then my like non-fiction like writing books. And there's a couple random ones like here and there, but you know, there's a couple series together, and yeah, this is just the space I had. And then of course we have my two little pop figures down here, and then my frog and my little BB-8 character guy. So then we have the continuation of Sarah J Maas. We have first two Crescent City books, so again, when I get the third one, we'll have to figure out something else, but that won't be happening for a while. This is it for now. We have Fourth Wing. Honestly, I don't know if I'll continue the series, so this might be the extent of my collection. We'll just have to see. And then we have some Calico Critters and my like reader roulette cards here. This is kind of a random one too. It's kind of a series, like Heavenly Bodies, One Dark Window, Red Rising. Again, once I expand, we'll need more room. Mainly just fantasy books in general. In this bottom one, we have my classics here to the left here, which I'm kind of surprised my collection has gotten this big, honestly. I definitely need to read these. And then more like historical fiction on the right, and then I kind of stuck like non-fiction, general fiction up top. This is really the only section where I have these type of books, so they will stay here. And then this I turned into kind of my like favorite books shelf. So we have my Taylor Jenkins Reid and Madeline Miller books. We have Fairy Loot editions, and then my Dark Vanessa is like a random one, but it's a great book, one of my favorites of this year. And then this has all the names of my physical TBR, so if I ever don't know what to read, I can just grab one and then it'll tell me. But I just wanted these on display because these are some of my favorite books, favorite authors, so they deserve like center spot. And then again, this is more fantasy series, like first books in a series, or like we have Caraval right here, and then we have some little bookmarks, my like, oops, metal bookmarks here. And then bottom shelf is most of my hardcover books, like my tall hardcover books. Really, there's no rhyme or reason to them being here. They just all are the same height, and I wanted them together. And then this is my Cassandra Clare shelf, my Shadowhunters shelf, and we have a little Christmas nutcracker guy for decoration. And again, this one is like, they are not gonna budge. They are in there, but really I don't plan on collecting the rest of the series unless I like really love them. These I got at like a thrift store, or they were given to me, and then these ones I bought. But like, you know, my collection of Shadowhunters books has been like on a budget in the first place, so in the future I don't really think I'll collect more, especially with the space I have right now. And then this is more of my like hardcovers or like first books in the series, so Lord of the Rings and Dune, I felt like they made sense to be together. I don't really know why. And then we have more of my like smaller hardback books. And then the bottom shelf is kind of the same thing. Authors that are together, same thing here, and then just like general hardcover books as well. And then coming over to the last of the cube shelves, this one I rearranged a little bit. So we have Narnia on top. Before it didn't really have a spot, but I just kind of stuck it in here. It just works. And then we have my Maze Runner and then my Hunger Games books, and obviously it makes sense for those to be together. And then this is my romance shelf. It is filled to the brim, but I don't really read that much romance, so I just need to get through this collection, and I don't really plan on buying many more romance books in the future, just because the ones I have read aren't really favorites of mine. Like, they're good reads, but I don't necessarily need physical copies unless I love them. And then finally, the last shelf is mainly like young adult books, either standalones or series. Like, we've got the Legend series here, and a couple of these ones are series, but I mainly just have the first book, and they're kind of ones that like I either haven't read before or I don't feel the need to own the rest of the series. Like, I'm unsure. Alright, so those are the shelves. I hope you enjoyed seeing the process and then the full tour of everything. I feel like I did repeat myself quite a bit just because I was like, it's not gonna stay this way, like it'll change in the future when I get more books. And it definitely will, just because this is like kind of a size downgrade for me, so I don't have as much wiggle room for reorganizing books or like adding new books to the TBR. I will definitely have to be more intentional with the books that I buy and also the books that I keep. Typically, I'm the type of person to just unhaul books if they weren't my favorite, if I didn't really enjoy them, if they weren't higher than like a 3.5 or 4 star didn't really need a space on my shelf, and especially now I think that's going to be even more apparent as I move forward, because in the long run I want my library to be full of books that I love and that I've loved reading and that I recommend and I want to display. So the more I read, the more I collect books. This will probably end up looking quite a bit different in the near future. But I'm really happy with it for now. I think I did a good job of like organizing and like making things cohesive and like functional and practical at the same time. And I haven't set the TV up yet, as you can see, but I am very excited to do that so I can sit on my bed and stare at my library and watch something at the same time. Like, that's just the perfect combination. So yeah, if you enjoyed, make sure to subscribe to my channel and like and comment and all that fun stuff. So thank you so much for watching again, and I will see you in my next video. Bye bye!